All right, so I want to do a test with you. I did a few paintings of some recognizable people. I'm going to show you a progression video of each one, and you let me know when you recognize the person. In fact, when you do, take a look at the time on the YouTube video and put that time in the comments section below. I'm really interested to know that. All right, welcome to Paint Coach. My name is Chris Fornatero, and I'm here to help simplify oil painting so that you can get better, faster. And yes, there is coffee in my mug. All right, so in this video, I'm gonna talk about how I get a likeness in a painting, kind of what I think are the main things to get right in order to see the person you're painting in your painting. All right, so when I was painting these portraits, this is around when I started to see the person I was painting in the painting. Now, this is gonna be different for everyone, but I think it's important for yourself to be aware of when you start to see a likeness. But the main reason I wanted to do this test was to illustrate the point of how little detail and development you need to start seeing a likeness. Like if you can start seeing a likeness that early on, that means that a likeness isn't really tied to detail that much. It's not really even tied to nailing the features. I didn't even put in the eyes or develop the nose or the mouth that much, and you could already sense that it was that person. And I always feel like when I get to this stage in my painting, it's always like the first 30 minutes or so. I really feel like the first 30 minutes of a portrait are the most important. That's when you establish the base structure of the face. You know, getting the nose right, getting the eyes right, and the mouth and all that, like that's really important, and that's gonna definitely help you get a likeness. But I'm never too worried about that because I know with enough time and enough attempts, like I can get the eye in the right place. It might take me 5 times. I might have to put my painting upside down. I might, you know, have to get out measurements, but like I know I can find the proper placement of things with enough time. But getting the right structure of things, the big shapes, the planes, the overall structure, that isn't really necessarily a matter of time. It's a matter of understanding. And I think that's really important to practice that and to learn that and get better at that, because it's going to really help your portraits. And also, when you do get that structure down, it's going to make placing those features in the right place a lot easier. So when people say like, oh, you really got a good likeness or you really captured that person, what are they talking about? Like, what technically did you do to make it look like that person? I guess that's the core question I'm trying to answer in this video. Now, I don't think it's like an exact one thing that you do. It's definitely a whole collection of things. But I think at the root of that collection of things, or at least the most important aspect, is drawing. Now, when I say drawing, you're probably not thinking of what I'm thinking. I'm not necessarily thinking about just the initial sketch that I do to start my portrait. It's the drawing you do throughout the painting. You know, drawing isn't just done with lines. It's done with shapes and values, and getting the proper placement and size of those shapes is what I'm thinking about when I say drawing. Because those value shapes are how you're going to construct form. And with portraits, form is everything. You know, does the person have a more defined brow bone? Do they have higher cheekbones? Do they have a big space between their nose and their upper lip? Do they have a big wide smile? Do they have a small chin? Do they have a big chin? Being able to accurately draw those in and the shapes that create them is what's going to really help you get a likeness. Now, the first thing, your initial sketch, talked about this a lot, it's not about being detailed as much as accurate. And it's good to use some form of measurement, whether you're painting from life or a photo. I really like to use a proportional divider. It's like 10 bucks, I think, on Amazon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But I use that just to get certain key measurements to help with my drawing. You can get as many measurements as you need to get your drawing. When I was first starting out, I'd get a lot of measurements. Now I don't need as much. I'll get kind of the top of the head, bottom of the chin, where the eyes are, and then I can kind of just start going. And the thing I like about getting these measurements is that you can get accurate placement of important things without getting into too much detail. So you're still open and free once you start painting to really start pushing things around. And you're not really that afraid of, you know, losing something. Even if it's a measurement, like a lot of times I'll mark where like an eye socket is or something and I'll lose it, but I'll be able to find it again if I need to. I can just take out my proportional divider and find the measurement again. But also, when your drawing isn't super refined, it makes it a lot easier to change things. And I think it's very important to always have the mindset of willing to change things as you go, because that's how you're going to get an accurate drawing. It's really important to constantly move around the painting and always be comparing one area to another, be comparing this to that. That's how you're gonna make a bunch of small little adjustments, which are a lot easier, opposed to like working on one little section to completion, then another section to completion, another section, and then getting to the end, and all those little mistakes have now become a big mistake, and it's a bigger deal to change it. Now, another thing to help you with your drawing is working big to small, or what I like to call easy to hard. When I start a painting, I start with the big shapes and the big forms, the big planes. Like, I'm not worrying about the planes of the nose or the eyelids or anything like that. That will come later, but I know if I get that overall structure, you know, I take things one step at a time, letting the previous step help me for the next step. You know, getting the big overall form is gonna help me to find the smaller forms within those big forms. See, a lot of people trying to jump straight to very detailed things right away, and it's like you're making it harder on yourself. You know, develop other areas. A lot of times when I get to an area where I'm like hesitant, I'm like, I kind of don't know what to do here. I'm a little scared of this area. I'll go work other areas of the painting in hopes that getting those other areas developed will inform me what to do on those areas that I'm scared to do. You know, if I don't know where to place an eye, like I'll develop the eye socket, the eyebrow, the eyelids, get all that right. And by the time I get all that, it's pretty obvious where I need to put the eye. Now, also, this is a very helpful tip I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, which is huge, which is your paint thickness. When I start out my portraits, my paint's pretty soupy. I'm not using any medium. I'm just using paint and paint thinner. And I'm keeping the paint thin because at this point, I am pushing the paint opposed to applying the paint. You know, I'm covering big areas, I'm being loose with it, I'm pushing colors into other colors. You know, the edge is a lot softer. This is my time to be expressive and work fast. You can always tighten things as you go. It's kind of harder to loosen as you go. I mean, you can, but find it more difficult. I also like to work dark to light because it's a lot easier to lighten paint as you go opposed to darkening it. The last thing you want to do is be trying to get like some good darks in there, and you're trying to paint over really light paint, and it's just, you're gonna be building up your paint really thick, and you're just gonna run into a lot of problems, and you're gonna probably have to end up scraping it off. Now, another big thing that's gonna help you with your drawing as you're painting are the planes. I actually have a whole video on the planes of the face. You wanna check that out, I'll put a link to it above right now. But understanding the planes of the head is gonna help you see more. You know, just knowing the structure is going to help you see and pick up on value changes. A lot of times these value changes are, you know, tough. They're very subtle shifts. You know, the face is very smooth, but having this exaggerated example of these planes in your mind will help you see this more. I hope all this makes sense. This is kind of a tough thing to teach and talk about, but I'm trying my best. Now, if you're really looking to up your portrait game, you'll probably be really interested in the portrait painting course that I'm developing right now. If you don't want to miss out on when I release that, sign up for the Paint Coach newsletter. I'll put a link to that in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see what I'm painting on a daily basis, you can follow me on Instagram at Forza43. I'm Chris Fornatero, here telling you to go get painting.